Coach Howardchuk has been mixing up the lines quite a bit. You've seen yourself slotted in the starting lineup from lines 1 through 4. Does that give you any problems with chemistry, or are you finding it pretty easy to get it adjusted with the players?
Well, this is a good group of guys, and chemistry really works with anyone, but he's definitely trying to switch something up and see if he can spark something through the lineup. And really, it's just a good opportunity for me to find who I like playing with and get it going with people.
The Colts now coming to this game on a 3-game winning streak. What is it that's been giving the Colts some success over these last few games?
Just our systems and sticking with it, playing our game. You know, we have a type of game we need to play. We need to stick to it, and we've come out on top.
Thanks for your time, Keegan, and best of luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
That was Barrie Colts forward Keegan Gates. We'll now head back upstairs to Steven Sweet and Gene Pereira in the Ontario Hockey League. Tell us, what are some of the biggest surprises that you've encountered as a coach in the league?
Well, thank you anyway for that. But I mean, somebody mentioned it to me the other day, and you know, I didn't realize that number. You know, it's kind of like a blur. It's like it's almost the same as playing. Your career goes pretty quick, and same with coaching. You just get yourself ready day to day. It's always been day-to-day business. You know, you have injuries, you have different things you deal with every day, so you got to adjust as you go.
And you talk about being like playing days. What are some of the differences that you've noticed, you know, obviously being behind the bench compared to being out there on the ice?
Well, when you're a player, you know, you have your practice time and your game times and, you know, a bit of video and that. But the rest of the time you're trying to rest. As coaches, we're staying busy putting video clips together and scouting other teams. So it's a lot more time consuming for sure.
And through the years, I believe this is your 6th season coaching the Colts. You've seen a lot of talent come through these doors and enter the NHL. And notably, as of recently, guys like Joseph Landisi have made their mark. Andreas Athanasiou. What kind of satisfaction do you get from seeing those guys that you helped develop now having success in the National Hockey League?
Well, I hope they all could do it. You know, I think, you know, I try to give them the right information, try and push the right buttons to get them going. You know, every player's different, and certain things work better with some players other than others, and so you kind of get a feel for that, especially early in the year, see what works. You know, and but you know, it's like I tell the guys all the time. You know, I had the opportunity to live it for 16 years, and you know, if you love the game, there's nothing better. So to see them go on and do well is, I mean, I'm proud of them that way. You know, but it's their hard work that got them there.
Final question for you, Dale. The Colts, they've now separated themselves from the North Bay Battalion, up 7 points on them, and they trail the Frontenacs by 8 points. Where's the goal, or how are you keeping this team focused heading down this stretch run? It's pretty far from both teams that are pretty close to the Colts.
Well, it may seem far, but it's not. You know, you go weekend to weekend, it changes pretty quick. So, you know, like I said earlier, you know, this is so day to day. You got to stay with it, and if you look too far ahead or too far back, you miss what's in the present. And our focus right now is the Owen Sound attack here tonight.
Thanks for your time, Coach, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
That was Barrie Colts head coach Dale Howardchuk. We're now going to take a quick commercial break, but stay tuned. The pregame will continue when we get back. Sudbury Wolves, a soon-to-be second-year player, but still a rookie, David Levin. And David, when you look back on your first season on the Ontario Hockey League, how would you assess it?
I think I had a pretty good season. Too bad I had too many injuries, but I tried to do my best to help my teammates, and it worked. Just try to come every game and do my best, and that's what I did.
Thank you for tuning in to OHL Hockey live on Rogers TV. My name is Steven Psihogios, and tonight we bring you Game 2 from the Barrie Molson Center of the Eastern Conference semifinal series between the North Bay Battalion and the Barrie Colts. Tonight, both teams get set to start Game 2 after what was a disappointing Game 1 for the North Bay Battalion. The team looked uninterested and lackadaisical at times out on the ice.
Colts offense over
LeBanc over to Mangiapane, he scores. Excellent passing by the Barrie Colts, and right off the draw, the Colts strike once again. They're up 2-0. You see the officials telling the Colts to move along, but once again, Mangiapane and Kevin LeBanc doing what they've been doing all season. Sicoli out front, and that one backhand. Giovanni Smith whacking out of Lazat clears the front of the net. And Carrick will throw it up to Stefano. He's got Fenora with him, gives it off to Fenora. Fenora scores! Excellent pass by Anthony Stefano, and Giordano Fenora makes no mistake, and the Barrie Colts now lead 3-0. Stevens shot blocked aside by Blackwood. That shot blocked by Lizotte. Smith out in front, scores. That one off the stick of Hotchkiss. Thrown out in front by Smith, and the Guelph Storm get one early. It's Colts shorthanded. Natinin scores. Julius Natinin from Andrew Mangiapane. Shorthanded, the Barrie Colts regained the 3-goal lead. They now lead 4-1 on the Guelph Storm. Craig, I thought the Mississauga Steelheads had an excellent start to that period. They looked very physical out of the gate, and it seemed like the Colts had a tough time breaking into the Steelhead zone.
Pretty good seven.
Nylander and Alex, how are you feeling your first game back?
I feel pretty good. Just gotta keep going and working hard every shift, and we're gonna have a good chance of beating this team.
What sort of things were you doing off the ice to stay healthy and in game shape to be prepared for when you do get back on the ice?
I was just working out every day, doing my...
Live on Rogers TV, my name is Steven Psihogios, and tonight, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals is set to take place between the Niagara Ice Dogs and the Barrie Colts. 68 seconds is all it took for Game 1 to be turned sideways and shook upside down as the Niagara Ice Dogs were able to score 3 goals in that span, erasing a 2-0 deficit and coming away with a 3-2 win in Game 1 of the Finals. Thank you for tuning back into OHL Hockey Live on Rogers TV. Still during the second intermission here. I'm now going to be joined alongside Craig Ripley and Gene Pereira. And Craig, the Barrie Colts tonight have yet to pull one past Alex Nedeljkovic. Shots on goal a lot closer than they were in the last game. But the Barrie Colts have yet to find an answer for Alex Nedeljkovic. Do you think the Colts need to switch anything up here in the third period in order to score a goal? Welcome back to the Barrie Molson Center. After the first period of play, the Barrie Colts lead the Mississauga Steelheads by a score of 1-0. I'm now joined by Mississauga Steelhead Mike McLeod. And Mike, the Steelheads only got 8 shots on goal in that first period of play. What does the team need to do offensively to get more chances on offense?
Yeah, I think we're...
Talking about players producing, Mackenzie Blackwood tonight has produced a lot of saves. What's it like having that confidence in your netminder as a defenseman?
Oh, he's awesome back.
And Anthony, it seemed like all the momentum was going the way of the Barrie Colts. They took a 2-0 lead, scoring shorthanded, but the Ice Dogs were able to battle back. Was there anything said on the bench, or what was the turning point for the Ice Dogs to get back in that game?